Hey guys, it's Benny, and today we're not going to do any fishing, but we're going to do a 6-month review into my Bonafide SS107 Black Widow Edition, number 63 of 100. 6 months ago, I decided to buy this little gem, and I think it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made as far as fishing goes. Starting in the back of the kayak, you've got these little skid plates right here. If you need to drag your boat, it's going to obviously save the bottom of it from getting scuffed up. And if you wear these down, Bonafide only sells these for like $6 or $7, so not bad whatsoever. And in the back of the yak, you've got all this room for activities. I keep my cooler back here, a couple tackle boxes, my life vest, jacket, shoes, whatever I need. Not much here to see other than plenty of room to put some stuff. And moving on to one of the best things about this kayak is the seat. This seat is very comfortable, and it's also very easy to install, take out. I mean, it just got this little snap right there, lifts right up, goes back in, and just put the clasp in and you're good to go. I was worried about these being plastic and breaking, but so far over 30 trips on the water, no issues with that whatsoever. But don't break the seat, because the seat's going to cost you about $350. Moving to the deck, again, you have plenty of room for activities. It's about 34.5 inches wide, so you've got plenty of room to move around, maneuver, do whatever you need to do. And one of the main things that I was worried about with the deck was these foam pads that they have on here, but whatever adhesive they used on them, it seems to be sticking really well. I mean, you got to remember there's a lot of water, and this thing's under sunlight quite a bit, and these things they haven't budged one bit, so I'm super happy with those. And underneath the seat, you've got plenty of room if you want to slide some stuff underneath there, but Bonafide also makes a junk drawer that sits on this slide that goes underneath the seat that I'm eventually going to purchase, because I don't know why I didn't get one to begin with. Moving on, you've got your deck pod, which is super easy. Again, plastic snaps, they're holding up very well. You've got plenty of room there if you want to put some snacks, your cell phone, some lures. That just snaps back in. I'll hit my camera with it. And I mean, if you also want to put some electronics on this thing, you can mount your fish finder right on top there, and your battery will of course easily fit in there. And if you don't want to leave it in there overnight, you just unsnap it and it pulls right out, and you can put it in your pickup. Pretty cool little innovation there, kind of handy. They also make specially outfitted pods just for fish finders and whatever electronics you want to put in there. I'm not sure what they cost, but they're probably pretty pricey. Up front, you've got more storage. Notice this little handy right here, so if it's windy out or whatever, if the wind catches this, you don't lose it in the lake. You can store basically whatever you want in there if you want to get a dry sack, but that's mainly where I put my fishing poles. I'm just going to slide a 7-foot pole in there right now to show you how easy it is. Boom. And there you go. Plenty of storage there also. I think this kayak can hold up to 425 pounds, so you can load this thing down with quite a bit of stuff. You've got your rubber piece up here where you can set your fishing poles on top if you want. I sometimes slide them underneath, but this is mainly for your paddle. It'll keep your paddle there. And again, the plastic's up front, holding good, nice and rigid. So those are basically all the good things about the boat. You've got plenty of room to do stuff. You've got all these Yak Attack rails here, and if you want to outfit them with more, you've got more than enough room to do so. Now we'll get on to the bad things. The thing I dislike the most about this kayak is no matter which side you paddle on, this thing always wants to lilt to the left when you're on the water. I'm not sure why it does that, if it's just maybe it's just the way that the weight is in the boat, but Bonafide listened to a lot of the complaints about it, and where I showed you where these skid plates were, they make little like rubber beaver tails that bolt in right underneath this, and it's supposed to stop that. And most of the reviews I've said on that stuff, they say that it works really well and it's helped that problem. So that's pretty cool that Bonafide listens and tries to solve some problem. We'll move on to the second thing, and that is the absence of a built-in rod holder. These kayaks don't have them. I don't think the 12-foot one does. Mine's a 10.7. But I mean, the only way I remedied that is I went and bought a Yak Attack Omega rod holder. They're $30. They're awesome rod holders. And it's just one of those things to me that's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me that much not to have one, because I try to fish with one pole at a time. And if I have to get another one out, I just reach into the storage and grab it and put the other one up. The most asked question about this kayak is it stable? And that answer is 100% yes. I put this thing to the test. I've had it out in the wind, I've had it in rivers, I've had it in lakes, I've had it in ponds, and at no point whatsoever have I ever felt like this thing was going to tip over. I think the only way that you could tip it is if you intentionally tried to. But that's coming from a guy that's 5'11", 150. Of course, it's going to vary against, like I'd say, a normal sized person that's like 6 foot 210. I don't think they're going to have any issues with this thing at all. They may want to upgrade to the 12-footer. The 10.7 was just perfect for me. So Bonafide did a great job with the stability on this thing, and I don't think you'll have any issues whatsoever. And another question that I get asked is, how heavy is it? Well, dry weight without your fishing poles and all your other fancy gear that you have with you, it weighs about 70 pounds. So all I do is pull it out of the pickup, pick it up, and carry it where I need to go. It's not heavy at all. With that being said, you're going to want to have a good anchor system with it. I had a 10-pound anchor that I usually use, and that held it just fine. So I went and got one of these kayak anchors, and I'm going to give this 3-pound a try and see how it does. I don't think I'll have any issues holding steady whatsoever there either. One pretty basic question that I get asked about this thing is, how do you keep it clean? Well, it's obviously black, so dirt, gravel, pond scum, you name it's going to show up on this thing fairly easily. So after 1 or 2 trips, I'll bring it in, wash it, clean it up the best I can, and I'll use this ceramic spray coating, and it really helps shed the water, and I mean, it keeps it kind of shiny. I mean, it's not glistening, obviously, but it helps out quite a bit. And finally, the last question that I got asked is, does this thing get hot? Because of course, black plastic. No, it doesn't whatsoever. I don't know if the water helps keep it cool, but I've had this thing on the water when it's been well over 100 degrees out, and it's never gotten hot to the touch or uncomfortable for me. So Bonafide did a really great job with this kayak. I love it. I'm impressed with it. If you guys have any other questions that you want to ask me, just basic whatever, hit me up, and I'll try and answer them the best I can. But I appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thanks.